been described as a silent crisis. Rural men who self-report lower levels of stress and depression, yet experience higher rates of suicide and substance abuse.
News 19's Haley Johnson shares more about the latest findings and the efforts in our community to make a change.
It's an unfortunate statistic. According to the CDC, suicide rates in rural areas are 64% higher than for people living in urban areas. And new research from national nonprofit The Ad Council finds roughly 63% of rural adults report experiencing a mental health condition, but only a third say they're getting help.
There's that sort of thought that we're rugged, we're men, we can do this, we can just sort of push through it. And that's not necessarily the best way to take care of ourselves and others.
Psychiatrist Dr. Elizabeth Botts with the Huntsman Mental Health Institute says there are a number of unique pressures facing those living in rural areas. Jobs like farming are often more physically and financially risky. The beautiful countrysides can also be socially isolating and make access to mental health resources challenging. The Ad Council has even begun a new campaign geared specifically to rural communities about the issue of mental health.
There's a sense of pride, but there's also a significant amount of pressure.
In Crawford County, lifetime resident Joe Childs has seen how mental health has impacted his community.
It can just build up, and with the way men kind of deal with that is usually through anger or oftentimes substance abuse is drugs and alcohol, and that can be obviously a spiral that is hard to get out of once you start down that road.
Childs says he was inspired to reach out to other groups to create a space for conversations on mental health and the daily struggles of the men and families living in rural areas.
I thought, well, why not get together and talk about that kind of stuff? And even if you just want to sit and listen, I think it can help to know that you aren't the only one that's going through that.
With the help of the LEAD Collective and Gunderson Boscobel Area Health, the Men's Mental Health Summit will launch its first meeting at the Gaze Mills Community Center, a free gathering geared toward men, but open to all.
It's going to take people making those steps forward, and then all of a sudden you have a group of men that feel comfortable talking about mental health, and that just spreads.
Reporting from La Crosse, Haley Johnson, News 19.
And that Men's Mental Health Summit will be at the Gaze Mills Community Center tomorrow night from 6 until 8. We've got more details over on our website, wxw.com.